So we just got back from seeing the Batman. We just walked in the house and fed the dogs, and we were discussing it in the car. She's like, "We should just film this." I'm like, yeah, why not? I think she's got more to say than me. I'm gonna go ahead and get it out of the way so that everybody who's gonna get pissed off at what I have to say can go ahead and leave the hate comments. Bring them on. I thought it was okay.
So did I.
Like, we were talking the other day. We were watching a video on YouTube. They're talking about how you can be overwhelmed and you can be underwhelmed, but you can't be whelmed. I'm like, you can be whelmed. Go watch the new Batman movie. It was okay.
It wasn't anything massive. Can you go pull one movie for me? HP4.
You realize I have no idea which one's which, right?
4 is Goblet.
Fire.
Yes. Because I've got comparison to make, because I believe he's on the cover, actually.
You better keep talking while I try to find this.
Sorry.
Why are these not together?
Because I haven't had time to organize things. I apologize.
I don't care if they're not in order, but the fact that, Sorcerer's Stone is over here. Then you got Azkaban, Chamber of Secrets, and Deathly Hallows Part 2 over here with Fantastic Beasts. Then on a whole different shelf, Deathly Hallows Part 1, Half-Blood Prince. Wasn't that up top? No, it isn't. Do we have 2 copies of Sorcerer's? No, okay. Order of the Phoenix. Oh, there's Goblet of Fire.
Yeah,
next to Yesterday, but then the Never-Ending Story.
I haven't had time to organize. I apologize.
I wouldn't mind watching Yesterday or the Never-Ending Story again. So that's... So one of the things we were talking about is how I've heard about the only complaint I've heard people is it's kind of long at 3 hours, and I brought my visual aids. Potop, one of my favorite films, 6 hours long. I can sit through this no problem. At 3 hours, I kind of thought the Batman was kind of long.
I will definitely agree with, I believe it was Cinemassacre, whose video we had seen prior. It wasn't much of a spoiler video, and it was actually a really well thought out video. And I have to agree with him about that 2 hour mark. It started to drag, and it kind of sucked.
And you can't see it because the video is only up for a day, but when I did my video on Potop, I had made a joke that, I like longer movies. I don't mind it being 6 hours, but you could probably cut about 45 minutes to 2 hours of this movie out and not lose anything. And then when they did the remaster in 2014, that's exactly what they did. Same thing here. I'm like, you could probably lose 20, 30 minutes. And I had a really long day at work, and then we went to the movie. I actually napped through about 20 minutes of it. So I can prove my own point. I did not miss anything in those 20 minutes.
No, he really
I woke
didn't.
up and was like, oh, cool, Catwoman's here now.
Yeah, as we were leaving the theater, I actually said most of the people that were leaving before the very unique end credit scene, which we will not be revealing.
I liked it. Most of you are going to throw a fit.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's the kind of thing I would do.
Yeah. But most of the people who had left the theater early were probably either there for Robert Pattinson or Zoe Kravitz. So.
And the other thing I want to touch on, as I hear a lot of people bragging about the soundtrack, and this is why I brought these out. I said this in my video for Pound Vodioski, which at least got 6 months on YouTube, and also The Deluge, that I've got the soundtracks for all 3 of these. And in the case of these 2 movies, I don't really have an opinion on them. It's fine in the movie. It's there, but...
I honestly think the entirety of Harry Potter had a better soundtrack.
And then that's where, with Fire and Sword, I'm like, this is the greatest fucking film soundtrack ever, and it's in the same franchise. But I would have put the Batman soundtrack the same place I'd put in, these ones where it's it was good in the movie,
yeah,
but I'm not going to go buy it. And that piano theme that's been, in all the trailers and stuff... I don't mean to downplay it, but it sounds like when I was 5 years old sitting in my basement playing on my piano. Hitting the same 4 notes thinking I'm doing something really deep and it...
Yeah.
It was better than that.
Yeah, no. It was... Yeah, like we had also discussed how he's seen the Joker more than once, the new one with Joaquin Phoenix. And
because it was the same thing the first time I saw it. I was not in a good mood. I was in a really bad place. I went to the movies, and I'm like, do I want to see Joker or Ford versus Ferrari? And for whatever reason, I decided to see Joker, and within like the first 30 seconds of Joker, I'm going, I made a terrible mistake. And I actually had to go and see Joker a second time to really, and be in a better headspace. Like, this movie's awesome.
It really was.
And I'm kind of the same way. Like, this one, I'm like, I wouldn't mind seeing this again, but I'm probably not going to go see it at the theaters again.
Yeah, it's... I wouldn't say that it is worth the however much you end up spending at the theater.
We went on the $5 day.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a perfect price for it.
Yeah, it was a good price for $5 movie day, because Marcus Theaters, but it wasn't everything that I had hoped for.
Right,
this was such a hyped movie.
Like, my favorite Batman is Batman Returns, so that puts me, like, way out there, because that movie is, well, batshit crazy. But, and I actually just rewatched that the other day, too.
Yeah.
But for comparison, like, the Batman movie I want to see, like, a live-action Mask of the Phantasm. No. We're still not there.
Well, and for... This will be a spoiler alert for anyone who has not seen it, but the way that they stylized it for Riddler and Joker and Arkham, just, it wasn't what I hoped for. I was hoping for, this is a massive spoiler, it's not Joaquin Phoenix. He's not anywhere. And that makes me mad because he's one of the better Jokers. Like, he actually goes through and you can tell that he's got a thought out process. And it does tie back in with the animated series movie that you were talking about earlier.
Which one?
The one, I can't remember the name because brain, but it's the one after Batman sits in Doomsday's chair and he's talking to Hal Jordan.
Oh, that was in the comics. That wasn't in the...
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Bad brain. It's been a long few weeks, so excuse my poor brain. But yeah, no, like in that entire thing, like I could see Joaquin doing a really good job on any of those Jokers. Like, it would have been so well done if we could have gotten even just it teased. Like...
Yeah, it's one of those... So, I'm going to have the spoiler warning in the titles, but yeah, like, they teased the Joker. And the way they did it was fun. He's sitting in a cell in Arkham next to the Riddler. He's all in silhouette. They're just kind of talking, and that was fine, but it was one of those... They're trying to set up the next movie, and I'm pretty sure that was a placeholder actor. I was like, if they were to do another movie or to follow through on that, it's not. There's no way it's gonna be the same guy playing the Joker.
No,
and it's like, why not just bring back somebody who's already played him?
Yeah, and it's like the Joker movie is fairly new enough that you could very well use Joaquin Phoenix, and I think it would work really well.
And they're probably thinking like, well, that was set in the 80s, and this is set in modern times, so you can't do... Nobody's...
But, like, Joker's basically a weird form of undead.
I know, because once he's gone, somebody's just going to take up the mantle again. And
exactly.
Kind of like the Shredder.
Yeah, it's like you had also said, who was the actor that played in the Gotham series? I
don't know his name.
I can't
For all I know,
his
that
name.
might have been him, and I just didn't recognize it.
No, it was not Joaquin Phoenix.
But... No, I'm saying on the show, like in the movie, it might have been, but
it might have been, but it was too
because he
dark
did the voice. He had like you could like hear hints of Mark Hamill's Joker voice in it.
Yeah, it was. I will say the style of it was really well done, and it was what you'd expect for a good Batman film. But I also feel like it was too much fan service, like. I get it. It's Robert Pattinson. A lot of people think that he's really hot and shit. And
who thinks that?
You have not met half of my generation, have you?
No. I fear people.
Good.
That's why I stay inside.
Good. There's a lot of people out there that... I had a friend once that really liked Robert Pattinson. I'm like, okay, cool for you. Like, He's not terrible looking. He's also not a terrible actor, which I have to pull up this movie right here because he played Cedric Diggory in it. Harry Potter, Goblet of Fire. And you can tell even though this is far earlier than anything in Twilight, any of that Robert Pattinson actually has the ability to be a really good actor. I think that he's just been stuck in some really bad writing. Really bad writing, really bad directing. Like, you can't fully judge an actor based on everything that they've done until they've done like 10 plus years. Because then they get a little more of a feel. And Robert Pattinson's getting to that point because this came out in, I'm terrible at finding things and I don't have my glasses because they
It
broke.
would be like 2005, 2006.
Something like that, yeah.
Because I saw that one. I think it was in Okinawa.
2005, right here.
And then I went and saw Order of the Phoenix when I was in Bremerton. So
Yeah. Yeah, no. So 2005, he's over 10 years.
This is the Harry Potter movie I slept through at the theater. My buddy wanted to go see, and I had been on watch the night before, and he's like, "Well, I'll pay." In a movie theater on base was like $1, so we paid, and I napped through most of it.
Yeah, no. So Robert Pattinson's got almost 20 years of experience, but a lot of his experience was within the Twilight films, and that's what a lot of people remember him for. And that's just, it was bad writing on top of bad directing on top of bad everything. It was not well planned out or anything. And I'm sorry, sparkling vampires. Sparkling vampires!
Almost says I lived in the Pacific Northwest, and it usually is that overcast. But damn, did that world look depressing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't look that depressing.
Yeah. No.
But I'll say it's like, he doesn't have a lot of speaking lines.
No, he didn't.
No, half the time you see Batman, he's just kind of staring off, and I'll give him credit. Like, the only other one I can really compare it to is whoever played Jason in Freddy vs. Jason.
Ooh, yeah.
He's doing everything through the eyes. That's kind of what he does, and that was great. Whenever he says something, it holds weight.
I think if we got like a Tim Burton, and yes, I know this would be blasphemy in the Tim Burton world, but you get Tim Burton to do another Batman, but have it be Robert Pattinson. That would make a good one.
But it depends. Is this the studio is doing it with basically Tim Burton's name on it, like the first one, or is this they pull off the gloves and tell Tim Burton, go make whatever the fuck you want, like with Batman?
You tell Tim Burton, go make whatever the fuck you want. Tim Burton is insane and I love it. And Danny Elfman could really make the soundtrack for that wonderful. Because I know that Tim Burton...
You're kind of getting that, though, because Michael Keaton's coming back for 2 roles now as Batman. So
This is true. But and I had to know directly after the movie if they were going to bring Joaquin Phoenix in at all, and they've already said no, they're not going to, because it's 2 years into the Batman, and Joaquin Phoenix just doesn't fit that. Like, how can he not?
So did you ever watch the animated Batman Year One?
I probably have, but it's been a while.
That was, like, if they could do something more like that, like, I don't want to sit and be like, oh, I hated the movie. Like, it was fine.
It was a good movie.
Yeah, like
it did keep me entertained, and it kept me hooked for long enough.
But it's one of those, if you can't tell, like, I can say probably just as many good things as I can say bad. Like,
yeah.
Like, the casting was wonderful. Everybody was great in it.
Yeah, no, I really liked how they had played out the whole Carmine Falcone scenes. Everything about that was just wonderful. Penguin was well thought out and very well played. The one scene where they leave him, oh, that was good. That was so good.
I thought you were gonna die.
Yeah.
One thing I want to bring up, I really like how they did the Batmobile.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
it legit, it was a car that he strapped a rocket engine onto. Like, that. It looked more like something out of Fast and the Furious.
Yeah, it definitely did.
And-
It was less conspicuous than most of the
Yeah, like,
videos.
if you saw that driving in the room, you'd be like, well, that's cool, and you'd go about your day. It wasn't like the fucking limousine from like the Tim Burton ones, where if you saw that, you'd be like, holy fuck,
Look,
what's
it's the
that?
Batman!
You know, or the Tumbler from the Nolan movies, which, honestly, when I saw that, pictures of that, like, offset, I hate it. It looks great in the movie, but whenever you see it outside that atmosphere, it's
Like,
awful.
this is a Batmobile that if they were to somehow, like, raffle off or anything like that, I would want.
Yeah, you wouldn't look like an idiot driving it around.
Oh, good gods, no!
Unlike when Taco Bell gave away the Batman Forever one. You ever see the Drew Carey episode where they did a tie-in with that where Drew wins it? And Lewis and Oswald steal it and dress up like Batman and Robin, but they dress up like the 60s Batman and Robin.
How did I know? How did I
But the best part though is because then Diedrich Bader would later go on to voice Batman in Brave and the Bold.
That's beautiful.
So he's basically played Robin and Batman.
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but doesn't Robin at some point take over the mantle of Batman?
Yeah, that was after Batman died, but he was really time traveling, and
That's also a whole weird thing in itself.
I also thought it was a weird choice to have Dick Grayson become Batman, since he's been off being Nightwing.
Yeah.
I don't think they should give it to Tim Drake either, because he quit.
Yeah.
But now we're getting off on a tangent.
Sorry, I've had the hiccups for like 3 days, and now they're evolved into like random tiny bursts.
She's not kidding, they'll go away, and then they'll just show back up.
Yeah, and they're very painful and not fun.
But yeah, overall, like, I enjoyed the movie. That was fun going, like, because we got the tickets like a week ago, and we went like right after I got off of work pretty much, and
Yeah, well, we came home, he changed, we got a snack, we grabbed a blanket, headed to the movies, we're like, we're good.
But I think I was almost more excited for all the movie posters for stuff coming out in April. Because there's like Sonic 2 and that new Fantastic Beasts.
It's Secrets of Dumbledore, and
And,
there's potential it can come out on my birthday.
There was like another one. I can't.
There was a few. There's...
I think Doctor Strange comes out in April. It's either April or May. It's getting close.
Yeah.
That was more exciting almost for me.
I
and
think
this comes out-
Morpheus.
Oh yeah.
Morpheus is coming out.
Do you know when Cyrano's coming out?
Not off the top
I've
of my
actually
head.
finally started seeing advertisements for that.
Probably, yeah. But, yeah,
It's gonna be a good year for movies. It's gonna be like 1984 all over again.
Yeah, no, I think that overall the Batman isn't everything it could be, but it's more of what we needed.
Yeah, no, it was different. I like that it was a change of pace from the usual.
Yeah, it's...
Like that's something. So even if you don't care for it, or you're like me and you're like I'm kind of indifferent, it was a different Batman movie, and that is refreshing.
Yeah, no, it actually tied back to the comics a little better than most of the live-action movies have lately. Because most of the live-action ones have seemed more like they're attempting to be fan service.
I'm still a little on the fence about the whole Batarang thing.
That was a very interesting choice for
I
placement.
wonder if they're gonna do anything with it, because like everybody's speculating that it was like the gun that killed his parents or something that he melted down and put in the suit or whatever. And I was like, oh, okay, so it does come out of there, and it's just like that's not practical. It's like in all the sword and sorcery movies where the guy carries his sword on his back. You're gonna be dead before you unsheath that thing. It's not gonna work.
Yeah. But I think that's why it's kind of a last minute thing, because who's gonna think to grab something from your chest? They're gonna go after the utility belt. I'm so surprised that nobody got a hold of that adrenaline, though.
My thing is the things on his gauntlets, they looked like darts. Did I miss it, or did they not explain what those were?
They didn't explain it. I spent the entire movie wondering what the fuck are they doing with this besides the batarang?
They could have been like metal rods.
Not the batarang. The bat hook thing.
The grappling hook, but
Yeah.
they weren't attached to that.
Yeah, it was.
That was on the inside though. These were on the outside.
Yeah,
That's
no.
what I'm saying.
I didn't know what was up with the.
Maybe they were just like metal rods to help protect the wrist or something. But
It was quite possible, but that was another one of those weird spots.
like that's one thing I'll say. I did like the bat suit.
Oh yeah, it was well thought out. I love what they did with the eye. That was perfection. Like, to be able to go basically in disguise anywhere. Like, that's a real Batman type thing. Like, that's not something that you'd see on, like, Superman or Hal
Superman's got
Jordan.
the hypnotic vision, so he doesn't need that.
But still, like, it's not something that you'd see on any other Superman.
Batman?
Sorry. I meant superhero, and it came out Superman. So, apologies. I can't words.
That's the thing, like, most of the suits in the movies have not, like, the first Tim Burton one, it looked clunky.
It did.
It looked like he was wearing a rubber suit. The second one, it looked more like actual armor.
Yeah, this one looked like well done armor. I love how they basically turned him into a flying monkey at one point. Not a flying monkey, a flying squirrel. Sorry. Flying monkeys are totally different.
Did they have wings?
Shut up. I'm not good with words today. But
and I'll say this, like, the Christopher Nolan suits, the two they did, I liked that the second one was actually kind of practical. He could actually move his head around. But, all I'm going to say about the Joel Schumacher suits, those nipples look way worse in person. Because they had one of them in the Seattle Sci-Fi Museum. I don't remember if it was the one from Batman Forever or Batman or I think it was Batman Forever. But the nipples, you don't see it on screen. They look like actual nipples. There's like parts to them. Like
there's a whole areola and nipple and everything.
And you can't see that in the movie because of the lighting and the way it is. But if you're like this close from it, like I was, you're like, "Ooh, that was a bad choice." But Batman and Robin is funny as fuck, so I'll give it. So that should give you like my favorite Batman movie is Batman Returns, and I actually prefer Batman and Robin to Batman Batman Forever just doesn't satisfy me. Batman and Robin, I laugh at that shit. That's like Phantom Menace or Street Fighter with Jean-Claude Van Damme for me. I just think it's fucking hilarious.
I can't pick a favorite because they all have their own merits. Like, even the animated ones.
I think a lot of the animated ones are the best ones.
Yeah.
Especially the two Batman Superman ones.
Yeah.
Those were fantastic.
Yeah, if I did have to pick, like, a director that I liked, I really did like Tim Burton doing Batman. Because not only did he stylize it similar to how everything Tim Burton's been, but it also still felt like a Batman movie. It was just a little more campy. So I think if they take some of the pieces of the Batman and mix it with Tim Burton's experience and weirdness, I think it would be something way
Yeah, but
better.
you'd have to like travel back in time and kidnap 90s Tim Burton. Because 2000s Tim Burton is totally different.
2000s Tim Burton gets better. I want to say Sweeney Todd is early 2000s, and that was shot well too. So.
But then there's also the two Alice in Wonderland movies, which honestly remind me of Joel Schumacher's Batman. It's just neon everywhere. And that's one where the world should be like that, but the characters shouldn't be, but the characters were. They just kind of felt like my eyes were trying to bleed.
It was those weren't good. Like, I wanted to like them, but they weren't what we exactly
Till I
needed
played the
out of
video
that.
game. I played the one on the Wii and the one on the DS because they were completely different. And those were cool. So at least we got that. The DS one, everything was like silhouetted. So that was neat, but you had to use the touch control, so that kind of sucked. and then the Wii version was just like a third-person action game.
I don't think I have it anymore.
But unfortunately, it was on the Wii, which meant you were doing this the whole time. So you could play for like 5 minutes before you wanted to chop your arms off.
Well, like, one of my favorite Alice games was actually the,
American McGee's, yes. Nobody's going to be surprised by that. It's everybody's favorite Alice game.
Alice the Madness Returns. I thought it was really well done.
It was.
But now we're going off on
now
tangents.
we're really going on to Tim Burton and Alice in Wonderland, and I like Jan Sankvich's version of Alice in Wonderland. Sorry, Sankmore's version of Alice in Wonderland the best. I'm just gonna throw that out.
But you also pulled out those to go and make some more points, so.
These?
Yes.
No, they just fell over.
Oh.
I was pulling this box set out and a bunch of these. Like, what do I need Gundam and Avatar for a bat? No, they were just in the way. And then I've got like my VHS of Soviet cartoons. Like how am I gonna bring this back? There's this dude here is looking sneaky. That's something. The only thing they ever seem to do in the movies with Batman being all stealthy is somebody will turn around and then turn back and he's gone. This one, you actually see him kind of sneak into a building in front of one of the guards.
That was good!
Thank you!
Yes, that was really good. Like,
as somebody who used to do that shit to fuck with people when I was in the military, I appreciate that.
As somebody who used to do that to fuck with people because I could.
Best one I ever did. Guy I was working with, his chair was like right here. Like, here's the door, here's his desk, here's his chair. And I got through the door, below his desk, threw a marble into the chaplain's office. So he's like, what's that? Gets up and leaves. Comes back and I'm just sitting in his chair behind his desk. He's like, how the fuck do you keep doing this?
That's good. That's pretty good.
He couldn't go under the desk, by the way, and he had a lot of stuff on top of it. So getting over the desk, because going around it wasn't an option. That was the challenge.
That was good. That was good. I think I might be able to top you. Mind you, I was in the woods. Just going on a walk because I could. This was like 2020. So this was right around the time that I met you, and I'm not sure if I told you about it or not, but I was walking, and sometimes I
You're
have...
the person in the clown makeup in the woods.
No, I'm not.
That was North Carolina, not Iowa.
Yeah, but you know how sometimes I can be really, really quiet with my footsteps. I can do that in the woods really, really well, and I accidentally snuck up on 2 girls. They were younger than me, and they screamed loud, like I was going to murder them. Well, what didn't help was I had a dark hoodie on, and I just looked like the epitome of darkness, and I'm coming out of the middle of the woods.
That might be the most emo thing I've ever heard someone
It's
say.
not! Oh my god!
I am the epitome of darkness.
That's fucking bullshit in no way.
You will suck my goth balls. Anything else?
No, I can't think.
Yeah, no, it's worth watching.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I almost feel like the only other thing I really compared to was when Spirited Away came out, and my battery's dying. But when Spirited Away came out, everybody's bragging about it, and then I watched it. Like, my family was really into it, like my parents and everything. Like, they don't like animated stuff. They didn't like anime. It's like, yeah, I gotta watch this, and then I don't know if the movie just was overhyped or if it just wasn't for me or a combination. But to this day, I'm like, I don't care for it. And
Yeah.
That's kind of how this is. It really wasn't overhyped. Like, everything I've heard about it's been good.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't say it was overhyped.
Yeah, no, it was good. It wasn't the Batman that we needed. So.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it's definitely worth checking out. But since the battery is about to die at any second, I think we're going to cut this short.
Have a good day, guys.